Alright, today I'm putting on new calipers, putting on new rotors, new brake pads, pretty much new everything, except for the line right here. First step is going to be to take the calipers off, followed by the rotors. Now to get the caliper off, you got an 18mm right here, and right under here. You got to take both of those out. Once you got this off, we're going to hang it up by a bungee. Now that we've got the caliper off and hanging by a bungee over here, I'm going to take the rotor off. If this is hard to get off, you might need to spray some WD-40 or some penetrant here where the lugs are and beat it with a hammer on both sides, but in this case it's pretty loose, so just pull it right off. The next step is to remove the banjo bolt right here, and that'll disconnect the brake line from the caliper. To note, you're going to want to do it pretty quick because it's going to start leaking. As soon as you get it broken free, you can hang this line above here and that'll stop it from leaking. You may have to reattach this to the wheel to be able to have enough leverage to get this thing loose because it is pretty tight. It's a 15mm. So with this new caliper, we got new brake clips. I'm gonna go ahead and put those on. We also got new washers for the new banjo bolt. And when you put these new clips in, they only go in one way. If you notice here, there's a taller side and a shorter side. So the taller side, this clip, needs to meet up there. You also always want this clip right here, that piece, to be facing out, and then this hook side right here to be on the inside of the caliper. To place them, just hook it on the side and press down. And do that for all four of them. Next, you're going to want to take off this little plug right here. So we're going to get ready to put the banjo bolt and reattach the brake line. So I'm going to get the new caliper and the brake line and fit the banjo bolt back on. I want to make sure that this brake line is pointing up the same direction it came off on. Once you have the banjo bolt on loosely, you can put the caliper back on and get it tightened back up. To get the new rotor prepped, we're going to spray it with some brake cleaner, wipe it down. Now we're going to get ready to grease and install these new brake pads. This side here with the clip that denotes when your brake pad is getting low is going to be on this side. The other piece will be out like this. You want to add grease here, here, and on the inside here before you clip them in. Now from this point, you want to make sure the caliper is as closed as possible so you can fit it on the rotor a little bit easier. You might need a screwdriver to be able to pry it. Now here, take the bungee cord off the top and fit the caliper back into place. Then go ahead and put your bolts back in. Once you got the caliper back on, check your banjo bolt, make sure that's tight. Lastly, we're about to get ready to bleed the brakes. Take this little cap off the bleed valve. Alright, from here we're going to start bleeding the brakes. You got your bleed valve right here. It's a 10mm. So once that's loosened up, it's best if you get a bleeder kit like this. And we're going to start pumping the brakes, and you'll see some air bubbles coming through here. Once the air bubbles stop, you'll know that air is out of these new lines and the caliper. You always want to start with the farthest away from the master cylinder, so we're here on the passenger rear.